Hey, this is Spencer, Orange Echo Films. Maybe you've seen some of my music videos, but I've been a metalhead for like 15 years, gone to hundreds of shows, and yeah, over the years I've collected a bunch of random memorabilia, a lot of tickets, stickers, patches, pins, programs, all kinds of stuff. And I thought it'd be interesting to do a bit of a show and tell. So first of all, I have a ton of stickers here, mostly from local bands in Philly and New York. And I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I know I want to do something like put them all on a table or a piece of furniture or something. If you have any ideas, let me know. But yeah, also I have a ton of tickets here. I feel like I haven't gotten a ticket in years. Feels like a kind of a bygone era at this point. But it's cool to save these. Then of course I got a bunch of patches and pins. I already have a vest, but I might do a second one. Got to figure out a theme for that. But I think it'll be interesting to show you some of the more notable pieces. I used to write for a webzine called Metalrecusance, RIP. And because of that, I used to be able to get into a lot of shows for free, review the show, interview the artists. And about 10 years ago, Uncle Acid did their first US tour ever. On their first stop in Philadelphia, where I used to live, I went to the show. I interviewed Mr. Acid himself, Kevin Stars. And yeah, the show was great. And here's another press pass sticker a couple years later. This show is with Ruby the Hatchet and Ecstatic Vision, two great Philadelphia psych rock bands. And they tour with Uncle Acid. So yeah, and I just love Uncle Acid's sound. It's kind of like Ghost, where it's like doom metal with pop melodies. Great stuff. These stickers I never even took off. But yeah, these are cool to have. Cool little keepsakes. And then right here I have a set list for Pentagram. This was 10 years ago. Also got a pick from the bassist Greg Turley. It's a pretty cool design. So yeah, this is pretty interesting to have. Then I have a program here for Maryland Death Fest 2015. And yeah, they have these like zines, got cool art on the front. And then, they got information on all the bands playing. And yeah, Maryland Death Fest is really cool. I've been to like 5 of them. Well, only like one day each when they were playing, when they had all the doom metal bands, because they usually group them up like that, because, I'm really into doom metal specifically. Yeah, and that year, Yob was headlining, Jack Stoff played, who I love, wish they would continue doing stuff, also Iron Man. But yeah, really, really awesome. Then I have a ticket for the unambiguously metal band Ghost in 2015. And it's funny because this show originally was going to be on the same day that Pope Francis was visiting Philadelphia, but then they had to change it for security reasons.
I am at least the second biggest pope in the world.
And this is probably the biggest show I got into for free. But yeah, Ghost is great. I know they got a lot of haters, but they put on a really fun show. Also, the psych rock band Person opened for them. And yeah, they're one of the best modern psych rock bands as well. So that was an awesome time for sure. And then right here, I have 2 bass picks from Venom Inc., the rival lineup to Venom, featuring the original guitarist and drummer Montes and Abaddon, and then Demolition Man on bass and vocals, who was with them in the late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, I was able to interview them. And I talked with them for like over an hour, even like maybe around 2 hours or something. Like they really gave me their time. And like, I was just some kid that was like writing for a webzine that like not that many people read. Yeah, it was really cool just like sitting down with metal legends, And, I feel like Venom, people know about Venom, but it feels like they're kind of slept on a bit. But yeah, that was a really cool show. They played, all the classic Venom stuff. And yeah, this bass pick even has some wear to it, so it was definitely used. That was a really cool experience. And then here is a patch for the band Sleep. And each tour, they actually do an exclusive patch. And it always looks like a NASA mission. So yeah, these are cool to get. Their merch game is on point. So Sleep, awesome band, good stuff. And then this is a wristband and a tag from a shirt I bought for Psycho Las Vegas 2016, which was probably the best weekend of my life, to be honest. So yeah, Alice Cooper and Blue Oyster Cult were headlining. I would always say those 2 bands for normies whenever I talked about the festival. But there was like Candlemass, Electric Wizard, Sleep, Acid King. If you're into stoner doom metal, this was like the best lineup ever. I just cannot imagine a better lineup for a festival. And it was at the Hard Rock Hotel, and it was really cool. You just walk and you'd be like, oh wow, there's like Joe Soborn from Electric Wizard, or even like the singer of Candlemass was like on the plane I was in, and really awesome stuff. Like I even just stumbled into like Arthur Brown's Q&A, who, he used to play shows like Jimi Hendrix back in the day, and like he was like a really nice British gentleman, and he's still at it, like 80 some years old. Yeah, so that was just an amazing experience. And then Candlemass played, and one of the guitarists was throwing picks out in the audience, and I caught this like just like that with my hands in midair, and yeah, that was pretty cool. And then yeah, I interviewed the singer Matt Slevin too that weekend, and yeah, it was funny because I remember like his key card wasn't working for some reason at the hotel, so like he had to like call like hotel service to like help him with that. And I remember him and I were just talking for a while, and he was like a really awesome, really kind guy. So yeah, that was great. And then I don't have any memorabilia for this, but this show was pretty notable. The lineup was St. Vitus, The Skull, Witch Mountain, and Crypt Sermon, which was stacked lineup, just really, really awesome. But the crazy thing about that show was that was just when Scott Rager's, the original singer of St. Vitus, came back into the band. But then during that show, Wino happened to be in the audience. So then there was an encore for the song Born Too Late, and then Wino came up on stage, so they were doing like a duet. It was almost like if Ozzy and Dio went up on stage together. It was like, something like that, like on a smaller scale, but that was so cool. And then later when the two of them were in the audience, I felt like I didn't want to be that guy, but I was like, I had to take a pic with the two of them. That was like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so that was pretty cool. And then Maryland Death Fest 2018, Coven was headlining, the band that's from the 60s originally that did that album, Witchcraft Destroys Minds and Reaps Souls. Yeah, so I bought a patch of theirs earlier in the day, but then during their set, they actually threw out these patches here, and I happened to catch it. Yeah, so I had 2 patches from that show. And yeah, Coven's great. Jinx Dawson, the singer, she's like 70 years old, and she posts like thirst traps on Instagram. Every show she comes out in a coffin at the beginning. And yeah, really putting in the extra effort. They sound great. I've seen them like 3 times at this point. And it's really cool that I'm able to see that band, that's so old at this point, so yeah, really awesome stuff. This is a wristband for Desert Fest New York from last year, 2023. Great show. First of all, I could walk a half hour to that show from my place, which was so great. The lineup was cool. Melvins, Boris, Heavy Temple, Ecstatic Vision. But even more so, I feel like just there were so many people there that I knew from like New York, Philly, elsewhere. It was just like one big homie fest, which was so awesome. At the end of the day, that's what it's really about. Awesome music that you can experience with your friends, create great memories. All these various pieces are, tokens of those memories. Yeah, and, I plan on going to more shows, for as long as I possibly can. Yeah, thanks for watching. Check out my music videos, and have a good one.